Imagine a home. Not just any home, but a place where love and laughter once lived. A sanctuary where every corner echoed with the sounds of joy, where every room was filled with warmth and comfort. Now picture it consumed by an unseen darkness, a place where joy turns to terror. The walls that once held memories of happiness now resonate with fear and despair. This is the story of the Smurl haunting, a chilling tale of a family's desperate fight against an entity that wanted to claim their souls. An entity so malevolent, it sought to shatter their peace and invade their sanctuary. In the quaint town of West Pittston, Pennsylvania, a normal family became prisoners in their own home. A town where everyone knew each other, where life was simple and serene, suddenly became the backdrop for a nightmare. Their story serves as a terrifying reminder. Evil lurks in the shadows, waiting to strike when we least expect it. The Smurls were an ordinary family living an ordinary life until the extraordinary and the terrifying invaded their world. The Smurl family's nightmare began subtly, like whispers in the dark. At first it was just small, inexplicable occurrences, a misplaced object, a strange noise in the night. But soon the whispers turned to screams, the shadows took form, and their home transformed into a battleground for their very souls. The entity grew bolder, its presence more menacing, turning their haven into a house of horrors. This is not just a ghost story, it is a stark warning about the very real dangers that lurk beyond our understanding, a chilling glimpse into the abyss of the unknown. The Smurl haunting serves as a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we cannot see, the ones that hide in the shadows, waiting to strike. Jack and Janet Smurl, a young couple deeply in love, moved to 1130 Chase Street seeking a fresh start. They had dreams of building a life together, filled with love, laughter, and the promise of a bright future. They brought with them their 4 children, Dawn, Heather, Jackie, and Michael. Each child brought their own unique energy and personality to the family, making their new house feel like a bustling, lively home. Little did they know, their dream home would soon become their worst nightmare. The walls that once echoed with laughter would soon reverberate with fear and uncertainty. Life was simple in West Pittston. The neighborhood was quiet, with tree-lined streets and friendly neighbors who waved as they passed by. It was the perfect place to raise a family. The Smurls were a close-knit family, their days filled with the joys and challenges of raising 4 children. They spent weekends playing in the yard, having family dinners, and creating memories that they thought would last a lifetime. They attended church regularly, their faith a cornerstone of their lives. Their belief in God provided them with strength and guidance, a beacon of hope in times of trouble. Their home on Chase Street was a source of pride. They had worked hard to afford it, and it symbolized their achievements and aspirations. Jack, a hard-working drywall contractor, took pride in maintaining their haven. He spent countless hours ensuring that every corner of the house was perfect, a testament to his dedication and love for his family. Janet, a devoted mother, filled the house with warmth and laughter. She created a nurturing environment where her children could thrive, always putting their needs above her own. But beneath the veneer of normalcy, a darkness festered. The family began to notice strange occurrences, things that couldn't be easily explained. Unknown to the family, their home harbored a malevolent secret, a sinister history that would soon rear its ugly head. The once welcoming walls now seemed to close in on them as the past began to unravel their present. The first sign was subtle, a foul odor, acrid and pervasive that clung to the air. It was as if the very walls of the house were exhaling a breath of decay, a scent that no amount of cleaning could dispel. The family tried to ignore it, attributing it to old pipes or perhaps a dead animal trapped somewhere in the walls. Then came the sounds, unexplained footsteps echoing through the hallways at odd hours, disembodied whispers that seemed to come from the very shadows, and objects moving mysteriously on their own. The once quiet home was now filled with an eerie symphony of the unknown. At first, the Smurls dismissed these incidents as tricks of the mind. They rationalized the footsteps as the house settling, the whispers as drafts of wind, and the moving objects as mere coincidences. They clung to their skepticism, hoping it was all just a series of explainable events. But as the occurrences grew bolder, more frequent, their skepticism wavered. The footsteps became louder, the whispers more insistent, and the objects moved with a force that defied logic. The family could no longer deny that something unexplainable was happening. Fear began to seep into their hearts, a growing unease that something was terribly wrong. The once warm and welcoming home now felt cold and hostile. Every creak, every shadow seemed to harbor a malevolent presence. One night, a heavy dresser inexplicably slid across the floor. The sound of wood scraping against wood echoed through the house, waking the family from their sleep. They rushed to the room, only to find the dresser had moved several feet from its original position. On another occasion, the family dog was violently thrown down the stairs by an unseen force. The poor animal yelped in pain and fear, and the family was left shaken and terrified. It was clear that whatever was haunting their home was growing more aggressive. Terror gripped the family as they realized they were not alone. The once comforting walls of their home now felt like a prison, trapping them with an unseen entity that seemed to feed on their fear. A palpable darkness descended upon 1130 Chase Street, a chilling presence that sent shivers down their spines. The haunting had begun, and the Smurls knew they were in for a battle against an unknown and terrifying force.
The entity grew bolder. On walls, furniture levitated, and tensions materialized in the darkness. It seemed to feed on their fear, growing stronger with each passing day. One night, Janet was physically assaulted, an force leaving deep scratches on her body. On another occasion, Jack was choked by an invisible hand, the pressure relentless and terrifying. The children were not spared from the entity's wrath. Toys came alive with malevolent glee. Their laughter menacing growls. Once full of life, the children were now withdrawn and terrified. The haunting escalated, each manifestation more terrifying than the last. Smurls were trapped in a nightmare, their home transformed into a prison of fear.
Desperate, the Smurls turned to their faith for solace and protection. They sought help from their parish priest, believing the power of God could vanquish the evil that plagued their home. The priest, a devout man of God, recognized the genuine terror in their eyes. He blessed their home, performed exorcism rites, and offered prayers for their deliverance. For a brief time, a sense of calm returned to 1130 Chase Street. The entity seemed to retreat, its malevolent grip on the house loosening. But the respite was short-lived. The entity returned with a vengeance, its power amplified, its attacks more vicious than before. The Smurls were devastated, their faith shaken to its core. The entity revealed its true nature, a demonic force, hell-bent on tormenting the Smurl family. It spoke through disembodied voices, spouting obscenities and threats, attempting to break their spirits. The demonic entity targeted each family member, exploiting their vulnerabilities, preying on their fears. It aimed to divide and conquer, to turn them against each other in their despair. The family endured physical and psychological torture, pushed to the very brink of their sanity. Sleep became impossible, meals were interrupted by terrifying events, and every corner of their home was a potential battleground. Despite the relentless assault, the Smurls clung to their faith. They refused to let this demonic entity destroy their family, their love for one another, their strongest weapon.